jelly beans and Jolly Ranchers and threats for sex by a correctional officer having sex with an inmate. Let me tell you, the reason I picked this story today, we see these stories almost weekly. Somewhere in the United States, a correctional officer has sex with an inmate. This female officer in Sheboygan County, Wisconsin, from the Kettle Moraine Correctional Institution, was having sex with an inmate, and after sex she would leave him Jolly Ranchers and jelly beans. But she would also threaten him and tell him if he ever said anything to anybody about their sexual relationship, that she would make sure that he got written up for lying about staff and make sure he stayed in prison for a long time. Now, if that holds, folks, because she's now sitting in jail right now on a $50,000 bond for sexual assault, because see, it's a second-degree felony in Wisconsin to have sex with an inmate, and then when you threaten to use your position of authority to get the inmate more prison time or write him up or get him in trouble, and you're having sex with him, they charged her for sexual assault, using her position of authority to have sex with this inmate. Now, of course, the investigation will continue, but when you have her emails and her phone number that the inmate had, and she admits to having given the inmate candy and allowing the inmate to use her cell phone several times, she just got too far in. She didn't admit to the sex. She knows that's the most serious charge. From my experience, whether it's proven she had sex with the inmate or not, she probably did, because I've interviewed, several male and female officers who have had sex with inmates. They usually will admit to the smaller stuff, bringing in the candy, letting him use cell phone. She does have 4 counts of bringing contraband into the prison. Now, if you added up the 4 counts of contraband and the sexual assault charges, she's actually, it won't happen, but she could get up to 90 years prison for being an idiot, for being stupid. Another thing she did was she went to another inmate. She told that inmate, confided in him, that she was having a sexual relationship with this other inmate, and she gave this inmate her phone number and her email. So now we have another paper trail to follow. Now, the inmate said he was going to pursue a personal relationship with her as well. Well, what would you think if you're a male inmate and a female officer tells you, hey, I'm having sex with this guy over here. Oh, by the way, here's my phone number and my email. What kind of signal does that send? She probably was getting ready to start a relationship with this guy. Well, because of the paper trail and the emails and the phone numbers and everything, they got a warrant to search her home. Lo and behold, in her home, they found illegal drugs. Hey, there's some more charges. Possession of illegal drugs at your personal residence. Add that on to these charges from the prison. She's 23 years old, Michaela Renee Mitchell. Okay, 23 years old. Not only stupid, but ruining her life with inmates. Unbelievable, just unbelievable how a young woman can get involved with these inmates, okay? And then tells another inmate about it and befriends him and gives him her personal information. Law enforcement also confiscated all her electronic devices from her home, her cell phone, her computer, her hard drive, anything they could find. And what are we going to bet? We've already got the inmate using her cell phone at work, so we know the numbers that he called her on there. Bam, there's some good evidence right there. She admitted to bringing contraband in. Now, she says she always left him Jolly Ranchers and candy. She didn't say after sex, but the inmate said it was after sex that the Jolly Ranchers and candy was left. And she always left with a reminder you say anything and you're going to get more prison time. So, you know, she was wanting to control this whole scenario here and make sure everything was covered. But, you know, people that do this are usually stupid criminals anyway. Yes, it says in the article correctional officer, but no longer correctional officer. She's a stupid criminal. Stupid games criminals play. And this criminal was wearing a uniform and tainting the image of her fellow correctional officers, tainting the image of her shield, of her badge that she wears. Just another sad story. I picked this one because of the Jolly Ranchers and Jelly Beans. That just gets me. Some of the stupidest things happen in these staff-inmate relationships. It's just crazy. I was going to say, that's what I was thinking of earlier. If they found illegal drugs at her house, the inmate didn't mention she brought him drugs. Of course, she's not going to admit she brought him drugs because the inmate knows if he received drugs from her, that's could be a charge on him. But I'll bet you, not confirmed, no evidence, I'm just betting that she brought him illegal drugs as well. One other thing, the inmate, I hope, gets some administrative remedies here. I hope he gets written up, spends some disciplinary confinement time, gets shipped to another prison. You know, in these cases, I'm going to tell you folks, you know, you would want him to be charged, but they don't charge the inmate in these cases many times. We can do administrative disciplinary action, but why don't they charge the inmate? Well, if we could prove he got drugs, if we could prove he got candy, maybe we could get him for contraband. That would be nice. I don't know if the state attorney in Wisconsin will go after that. But what happens is the officer wears a badge, took the oath, knows it's a second-degree felony to have sex with an inmate, and did it anyway. You know, that's the one that's going to get the most severe charges. They should know better. They're there for care, custody, and control, not to have sex and bring contraband to inmates, folks. All right. Take care, everybody. Stay away from giving anything to the inmates that they should not have. Watch out for their manipulation. I don't even, you know, maybe she was manipulated a little bit. She knew exactly what she was doing with the threats to the inmate and everything. She's just stupid, though, in the way she went about this thing. And she's a criminal for having sex with an inmate. Gary York, True Prison Stories. Thanks for watching.